video of the state of the boat. This was all completely covered in grey paint. Sanded it all off, filled in certain holes, lots of filling, lots of repairing, glass work, patch, there's a big hole there, it's smooth now, filled in all the holes, still got a bit to do there, but it's smooth. Couple of little repairs just all over, especially around these little nicks, all lovely smooth now, ready for primer. And all in here was all well, just not attached, so I filled all that in. Just a bit of sand there. Other than that, a few little dodgy repairs, but that's alright now. Another one there. There's one I dug out. There's the boot. That sounds good. You got foam in there. Good solid transom there. We're ready for primer. Bit of progress is made. We're nearly ready for paint. We're finally all in primer. Ready for colour tomorrow. Once I've finished off sanding a few bits that I found, I'll just start painting. So that's all epoxy filler with additives. And it's all been rolled on with a foam roller, and I'm ready for me to, well, you'll see it, but all ready for the sand, wet and dry now, 600 and then 1200. More filler I've added just to smooth things out in certain areas. Other than that, nearly done. It's getting there. There's a few little nicks in the hull still, but yeah, you're not going to see that, so I'm not bothered. I was more concerned about this area here that had, like an anchor had been chewing away at it, had a lot of chips in this area here. So that's all been filled. Sanded, primed. This is the second coat of primer. First coat was pretty much sanded all the way back off, helping because this is a high build primer. And there we go, slowly getting there. Now I'll flip it over, and I've got the inside to start on yet. It looks a right mess. But there we go for now. Update. Yes. I managed to find a can of red paint, so I've given it a guide coat. I'll flatten it with 600 wet and dry. So that's the guide coat on this side. Now I've already done the transom. There's a few spots there, you can still see the guide coat, but hey, you ain't going to see that because the plate will go over that and the hooks. So that's been flatted down with 600. That's just dirt. That's a bit of the black stuff, but as you can see now, I ran out of red paint. The little tin I had was empty, so I managed to find a bit of gloss black that was left over, and I've now given it a full guide coat. Now I'll be honest, when I did up there I pre-sanded with 120. I think I'm going to have to here because it's, I don't know if you can hear that, very rough. But when you come round to the transom, nothing. Like a baby's arse. Baby's bottom, sorry. Smooth as a baby's bottom. So we're getting now. Black's a bit of a hint. I'm not going to tell you what the colour's going to be. I'm not using boat paint. This is 2K acrylic 4:1 filler, or high build primer. And then after that we're using normal car acrylic paint. I think it's acrylic. Normal paints. Even below the waterline, but as you can see I've got a trainer there that I made up for it, which was in a mess when I got it, so that's been hammerited, bunks put on at the back. It only had rollers and the bunks were too high, so it had to be cut off and re-welded back on, so I did that. And although I've only got a hobby welder, so welding needs looking at before I put any weight on it, but it's not going to take the weight. The kill rollers take the weight. The bunk's just there to support it. So yeah, next update will be this all sanded down. I've gone around with an epoxy filler that I make up using resin, a hardener and basically glass fibre dust, and it creates a filler that's waterproof. So underneath all this it's waterproof even though I'm using car paint. That's where it's got wet from where I was doing the transom. But yeah, slowly but surely she'll look a peach. Ah, there you go guys, last update of the day. Oh, I'm shattered now. Ah, blimey. Oh, but that's it all sanded flat now. The guide coat's all off, all along there. Yeah, I got a bit carried away with the machine, so I'll have to get the sprayer out again and touch that up. The primer was all rolled on, 4-inch smooth foam roller, whatever you call them. So that's all that done. Making a start on the front, you can see we're not quite there yet with the guide coats. Well, that's going to show up. And then we're slowly, bit by bit, getting it gone. But it's too dark to carry on now, for me anyway. I can't see what I'm doing. I've still got all that side to do. And most of this, I've gone over it with 120 then 500 on the machine. Trusty old little 4-inch. And the old 500. But they clog up so quick. God, it takes ages. But we're getting there. I was nearly enough all done, ready to paint, and I hadn't noticed it. But on this side, I don't know if you'll see it or not, I had a massive crack right there. So I've got the Dremel out, dug it all out, mixed up some filler, epoxy filler, and yeah, 2 of them, done that one there as well. So I've got all that to sand back tomorrow, and then that's when the paint was still wet. I put my bloody hand on it, to flat all that off. I wasn't planning to flat the bottom of the hole, this part of it, because you're not going to see the bloody thing. But I mean, it's relatively smooth anyway. It's not that bad, but we're getting there. And then, like I say, the back's done. Oh, it's lovely, that is. So smooth. Still dusty, but... So back at it tomorrow now. Cheers guys, hope you're enjoying it. Another update. That's the hull painted white. I don't know how well you see it, because even I can't bloody see it, and that's why I've had a struggle trying to get it. I should have got my gazebo out, but I've got a few runs in all along there. That was the first part painted, and I hadn't quite set the gun right, but I got there. I've only got, really the gun's only designed for doing alloy wheels. It's not really designed to throw this much paint out to do the whole boat. So I've had to manage, because my bigger gun, my bigger paint gun, I went and got it out, and some prat stood on it and broke the cup, and I haven't got a cup for it, so I can't use the bigger gun. So barring a couple of little, I don't know how well you can see that, there's a little run there. That's nothing, that's easy to sand back out, but other than that, come up alright. The sides that you're going to see are nice and shiny, and then a bit of the transom. Don't know how well that'll show up really. Not a bad camera on my phone, but once that's flatted up, it's got a little tiny bit of orange peel, quite a lot. I've got little pinholes there, that's annoying. But in general, I think you can see the trees, you can see the shine. Obviously I haven't painted down here, but up there, the shine's there. Shame it ain't a sunny day. So I'm going to wait till Tuesday but it ain't going to rain now. Because they said it weren't going to be no rain today, but I don't know. Tuesday we got better temperatures, 20 degrees on Tuesday. So I cocked up as well when I washed it all down. I forgot, I missed a bit when I dried it off, and as you can see that there, there's actually water still there. Couldn't even blow it away with the compressor. So I'm just going to let that dry out, and sand that back, and then I don't know whether to give it a second coat or not. I mean, in some areas it needs it, but by the time I've sort of buffed up the areas that we're going to see from the outside as such, I think it'll be alright. I kind of got stuck on what to do, so with the front of it, so I've got my V there, and then this is going to be the other colour, which I'm not going to divulge yet. It's fancy, it's a nice paint. It's from a Jaguar car, So what my game plan is to have this all white down here, sorry, this strip here all white, and then a line down, and then basically everything that's grey there, or patchy, will be the other colour. And then it will need lacquering, the other colour, because it's metallic. But that's all nice and smooth now. That was a mess that had been rammed into God knows what and all sorts. But yeah, I spent the morning flattening it all down, so it's all flattened again, ready for the second colour. Like I say, the white's on, that'll do for now. Yeah, there were some areas that could have been played with and it's patched up a bit better, but you know what, the whole shoulder's playing up now and I couldn't be fucking arsed, so I give up in the end. That'll do, as they say. It's not a boat, so the finish is going to come out okay because it's going to be good where I want it. But yeah, like me, you probably can't see anything because, I mean, there ain't a great deal of shine on the hull. It probably does need a second coat, but I was more worried about getting more runs, so I left it. But yeah, that'll do. Oh, and a big shout out to whoever made these tables. They are lifetime. I think they're only rated for a 90 kilo. Well, come on. That's 260, 270 kilo between the two of them. And I've been standing on them as well. And I'm another 75, so I'm a short arse, don't worry. That's why I don't weigh a lot. But yeah, so impressed with the tables. They've taken the weight very well, considering they've been shaking around and, yeah, famous last words. But, you know, they're holding it very well, so I'm impressed with the tables. Anyway, that'll do for today's update, chaps. Yeah, this side got cooked by the sun and I was struggling to keep a wet edge, so it's all been flatted back, repainted in the black, and then like a dick I've run out of hardener, so I don't know what to do now because I can't paint it. To put the lacquer on, you've got to do it within 12 hours. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to be able to get any hardener now till Monday, so I cocked up, to put it kindly. However, having said that, it means I've just got this side left to do. I'm probably going to have to put more paint on it and then lacquer it. So what have we done today? Right, well, the whole transom has been flatted off. I mean, you know, it's a mirror without a doubt. It's a shame the sun's not shining really. That's a bit of residue from that. I just washed it with wax. It's going to get waxed. I've got a PTFE wax I used on my van years ago, but I've run a towel over it, but it's left streaks. So other than that, yeah, we've got a mirror finish on that. That's come up really nice. I'm very pleased with how shiny that's come up. This side I haven't touched. This is still as it came out of the gun. I've got a couple of areas that, oh, I don't know I'm going to be able to do anything about it. It's not orange peel. It don't feel like orange peel. So that's that side. What else did we do? We buffed all this up. We had a run just here, sanded that out, polished all that back up, and then I flatted all this front area all the way from, yeah, all the black and the white because it's still a bit rough from overspray on the white. Other than that, that is yeah, glossy to say the least. I mean, you see the clouds. Hear the clouds. It's the same picture, isn't it? So yeah, it is, you know, very shiny. I think without any sun today, you're not gonna see the colour, but yeah, that's much nicer since it's been flatted off and buffed. But I don't think the camera does it justice, to be fair. And then this polish, these white dots, fucking pain in the arse. It's polish that's hardened onto the lacquer, and it's an absolute fucking nightmare. Excuse me, French. Yeah, absolute nightmare to get off. So I'm gonna have to get some more polish and actually like hand polish it, I think, to get all the dots off. Add it all around this side as well. A few like little spots here and there. It's just polish. I Me, something keeps burning something, it stinks. So, yeah, happy with how the front's come out now, much nicer than it was just in the last video. But that's today's update. So like I say, all flat's been flatted, cleaned up, flatted on the other side. I've got to do all this shit. This is rough. I don't know what happened here the other day. I think the paint was still too soft when I tried sanding it, tried polishing it. So I get the polisher and I'll flat that down with 1200 and then polish that off. But I'll wait till I've painted this side first. So yeah, so we're at a standstill now till I can get some hardener for the lacquer in order to finish off. But so far, I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, like I say, it doesn't do it any justice. Remember that run? All this fucking one in there. Yeah, kind of gone back through to colour. But there's nothing I can do. It's, you know, I have to sand it right back, put a bit of colour in. It's never going to work out. So that's done. Yeah, I'll have to live like that. I'll put a sticker over it. And then these will have the silver chrome plates around them. Same with this one. And annoyingly, those white dots I can't do fuck all about. For some reason they're pinholes in the lacquer. Why? I don't know. I think again this corner of the boat got the sun when I was painting it, and I think it's blistered up from underneath and put little holes. It's a fucking pain in the arse, but I'd have to, in order to do that, I'd have to sand it back from about here and basically cut it all back to the black paint and then repaint it and then re-lacquer it. Do you know what, it's cost me 250 quid in materials for painting it already, and that's enough. So, barring some more more hardener, need some more thinners to help clean the shit out, a bit more of a polish up, and then that's going to be done hopefully by Monday. Well, Monday afternoon, providing they open on Monday and I can get the lacquer and the hardener. I have to wait and see whether they open on Monday. If not, half of it, 2/3 of it's done. We've just got the other side to do. It's been painted, but now it's got covered in sand in dust. There's the transom, I think you can see nice and shiny. It's all been flatted back and polished up. And then the whites. And then I've been painted out here. This side I still need to flat it down and polish it back up. It's got a little bit of orange peel in places. It was a windy day when I tried painting it. It was a nightmare. Let me get round to the front. Gives you an indication, and then when we get up nice and close to the sun, I don't know how well you can see that. I've gone with a pearl black. It's Jaguar Cosmic Black. I don't know how well that will show up, but nice and shiny. And then it's like a pearl metallic. How well that'll pick up. And so that's all that. The base is all done. Still haven't touched the interior yet. This side still needs lacquer. When I painted it, it was too hot, and this side came out a mess. So it's been flatted back, new black on, and then I was supposed to lacquer it, but I ran out of hardener, and now I'm going to have to paint it all again and then lacquer it. But so far, there's your old boat. I took care of most of the chips, well, pretty much all of the chips that are over here on this side. And so I don't know how well the pearl comes out now, but it don't have light up the transom in the mornings when the sun's over that side. But yeah, here's an update just on the hull.